Hey everybody, happy Sunday, and I'm glad y'all came in here so we can talk about this show that we just got through watching and pick through all the mess. It wasn't a whole lot of, explosions, but it's a whole lot of, little tiny micro mini items that we can dig through. And I think that they were very entertaining, as a matter of fact. So we're going to get into it shortly. Those of you who have already hit the like button, I want to say thank you as usual. And if you have not hit that like button yet, it is not too late. Reach on over there, hit that like button, get comfortable, shoes off, wigs off. Okay? And let's talk about this show. Also, subscribe if you have not already subscribed. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you click all so you'll know every time that I go live over here on this channel. And please know, come again and always come often. We're happy to have you. Let me greet everybody in the chat real quick so we can start talking about what all of us just witnessed, okay? Now, who we got? Bianca Edwards, how you doing? Miss Sparkle, good evening to you. Yolanda Franklin, hey there. Lel, yes, you know it ain't a party till you show up. Hey, Plum, how are you? TJ Ray, good to see you. Auntie Eva, hi. How are you? All right. Angela Davis, hello. Vita is here from Denver, as always. Lala Chanel, good to see you. There goes my Andrew Mack, who hung out with us over on Twitch for our dance party, which actually turned into an old school dance party. It was so lit. Hey, Helene Easley, all the way from Vegas. Jesse X, how are you? There goes Niecy Rose. All right. Lorene Brown, good to see you. Dana Cutler, Steelers Nation representing Miss Black and Yellow herself. All right, Sandra, how are you? Learning to love myself. Always good to see you. There's my sister Glennis. How you doing, girl? Brooke D'Amore. Hey there. Marva, you made it. All right, Kim Bird. Good to see you. There's my Christian Key. I hope you feel better soon. PBH, good to see you. The beautiful Chanel D Queen. All right, all right. Uh-oh, y'all coming on in. There's Mama's baby right there, Geneva. And she says hit the like button for her mama. Y'all please hit the like button. Here, do like my baby asked you. All right, there's Angie. Hey, my sis from Miami rolling up in here. We got Golden Life with her beautiful picture. That's right. We're going to break it down, girl. Hey, Debbie Garcia, how you doing? Hey, my good sis Marilyn McGowan, how you doing? All right. This lovely Miss Chocolate Divine, good to see you. Nika, our sis from Jersey representing. DJ Dr. J, 1913. Hello, how are you? All right. Nacho Twins Mama sliding through. All right. AVL, how you been? Long time. Always good to see you. Always a pleasure. Ebony M, good to see you. Hey, Rochelle. All right. All right. Ooh, child. I'm trying to greet everybody. I'm about to run out of breath. Y'all know a girl is overweight now. Just your fancy. Good to see you. There's our head sniper, Mimi. Hey there, Pasiana. Always a pleasure. All right, Lisa Gordon, how you doing? All right. Queen Mermaid made it in here. All right. Hey, Anna. Hey, Dora Rodriguez. Sharon Hayward. Tracy Lashley, how are you? Anybody else that comes in, y'all help me greet everybody. If I miss greeting you when you come in, forgive me. I promise it won't be on purpose. Hey, Lala Chanel. All right. So, y'all, I done hollered at everybody. We covered the like button. Hey, Misha, Miss Believe, how y'all doing? Let's get into this show. So, if you ask me, I didn't get a lot of value from the first segment. I didn't get a lot of value out of that first segment. And I say that because I feel like they always start off where they left off on the last part, which, in my opinion, I feel like they wasted time and they're trying to drag it to make this into 4 episodes, to make it into 4 parts. Y'all know I said from the beginning, I honestly do not believe that this should have been 4 parts. I think it could have been covered in 3. Tonight's episode was proof that they could have did it in 3. Hey, Bird Tree. I feel like definitely they could have did it in 3. But we're going to pick apart what happened because it was enough there. It was enough meat on it. Like I said, no explosions, but it had a little meat on the bone. So let's get into it. Now, what was interesting to me, what I would say when it got interesting slightly. And it was a little bit of a waste of time, but there was information in there. Y'all know I pick it to the bone. Y'all might miss stuff, but I don't be missing stuff. Okay? So dig. The men's segment, that's when it started to get a little interesting. So that's where I'm going to start. Now, the men came out, Andy speaking to everybody. You know, he always shady or whatever. And I don't understand why he does that with those men, because those men really aren't playful like that with him. Ray is always a good sport. However, he immediately made reference to Wendy's comment comparing Eddie to Idris. And I feel like that ain't even fair to Eddie. Eddie didn't tell her to compare him to no Idris. That ain't fair to no man. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. That's just, you know, but I think she got caught up in the moment, ran her mouth. And I think maybe to her, that's how she felt about her husband. But I think that she could have kept that. So Andy went straight for that and asked him, does he get compared with Idris? I think he was a good sport. And as always, absolutely was a good sport. So then he moves on. And, you know, they all point out the fact that, of course, Michael and Juan was not there. And then he made the joke and said that apparently Michael got something called, you know, something about the reunion. He can't come to no reunions. It's a lot of stuff that Michael can't come to. And I think he's being more blatant about it because Juan is more blatant about not showing up. And Miss Thing actually says, well, he does really get sick this time of year every time. This time I think he has pneumonia. Now let's stop right there, sisters, if we can. Because how do you think somebody have pneumonia? Can somebody explain that one to me? This man is a multimillionaire, and you're not going to tell me that if you believe he had pneumonia or he was presenting with symptoms of somebody with pneumonia, that you, with all of those money, all of that money and all of those resources, that you would not have taken your elderly husband to a hospital or to at the very least, a family practice to confirm that this man has pneumonia, is Ashley lying again. And I want her to be real careful, because I believe every time she tells the lie, her forehead expands another 3 to 4 centimeters. So I need her to be careful. Andrew Mack say Ashley and her lame excuses for Michael. Yes, like she went to lying about the knots on his knuckles. I mean, I done heard a lot of strange lies, but I'm like, Ashley takes the cake. With her brand of lying is really uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable to watch. It's really uncomfortable to watch. Let me see what you say. What y'all saying in the chat. LEL say, girl, if that old dust bag has pneumonia, she better be picking his casket colors, because ain't no way that sickly man just pushing through that. Right. She does say that he works out, but how much can that old man work out? Like, and I'm not old hating, because I'm not exactly young. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna just drag the man for being old, but let's just be honest. He's elderly. His skin is getting thinner by the day. I mean, he's already a clear gentleman, and at this point, his skin is turning to cellophane. You saying you believe he has pneumonia, yet you expect us to believe that you did not take him somewhere to confirm that he might have pneumonia. Hey, D. Marie. So that in and of itself says to me, lies. I'm just saying, I feel like it's a lie. Lord, Mimi, Jesus, yes, y'all, the head sniper is in the chat. Proceed with prayer. That's all I can say. So that was interesting to see her tell that lie, and the lie didn't make no sense. Pinky in the Brain 3, what's up? She said, girl, Wendy is overtaking, and so was Chris. Yep, there was, and as we say, you know, with high life music, overtaking is allowed. So that's what was happening. But dig. So that was interesting to watch, you know, how she made that lie up on the spot. Okay, that's going to come up again later. And then now this is not, I want y'all to tell me if I'm reaching. If I'm reaching, let me know, because I don't want to do no stretches that I don't need to do. Now, the phone starts vibrating loudly and she answers it. To me, I feel like that was something that they practiced, and Miss Dorothy was already, it was arranged for Miss Dorothy to call at that time, because if I recall from other reunions, they were always very clear about telling them to turn their phones off. So the fact that her phone was on and started ringing and she actually answered it, and Andy was like, "Oh, are we doing this right now?" Thank you, Andrew Mack. Totally contrived. Totally contrived. It was way too fake. It was way, 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 way too fake. I was not comfortable with that. And then I didn't like the fact that you could kind of tell that they set it up, but they was, in my opinion, I felt like they were disrespectful to Miss Dorothy. Like there was no need for that. If her and him have an issue, that's one thing, but the way they handled her on that phone, I felt some type of way. So Andy starts asking her questions about the video shoot, and she was like, "It was nice, it was okay, or whatever." And so then he asked her about some of the things that she was saying, and so she was like, "I was just answering questions," and he, chimed in and kind of spoke for her and said, you know, "You were being chatty." I feel like she was not shy about answering those questions. And right, more than likely, "Hey girl, hey Melanin Poppin'." But I think that they had already decided she was gonna be the bad guy. So he asked the question. I feel like Miss Dorothy was telling the truth in that they were asking her questions. "Hey DT." Right. Yep, please. So you said this was so unnecessary, the entire segment. That's right. I didn't like that. It was a little uncomfortable to watch. So she said that she was answering questions. Then he asked, had she apologized to Chris Bassett? Now, do I think that what she said probably hurt his feelings? I'm sure. Do I think that she said anything damning to him? Do I think that she slandered him? No, I don't. I think she answered questions and then she gave her opinion on some things. And I don't think she did anything bad to him. I could see her maybe apologizing, like, "Well, if what I said hurt your feelings, or I clearly see that what I said hurt your feelings, and if it wasn't her intention to hurt his feelings, I could see her apologizing for that." But I don't know. It was a bit much. And then Andy asked if she thought he deserved one. Now, see, this is where I got to stop now, because what would make Andy ask, "Do you feel like he deserved one?" It's as if to say Andy feels like he didn't deserve one. Because what would make you add that on to that question? Y'all get what I'm saying? It's almost like Miss Dorothy was Bernie Mac in this situation. Miss Dorothy said what everybody wanted to say and couldn't say. They asked her because they were like, "Okay, you can get away with saying it, so we're going to ask you so you can say it." Okay? Lel, what you say? You say she shouldn't have answered those questions by lying. I won't lie, but her answers were truthful at least. Yeah, they were truthful. They were truthful. Hey, Allison. So I could see her not answering as an option. I could also see her saying, "Well, I want to say it, but so I'm gonna say it." Either way. But I feel like if it hurt his feelings and you care, like that's the part you got to add on. If she cares. Now, if you care, then I can see you saying, "I apologize because what I said hurt your feelings." Because let's be clear, when you put "if I hurt your feelings" or "if I upset you" or "if I did anything," that's not an apology. That's you trying to be funny. That's just my opinion. But anyway, and then it was for me, it was Chris telling Andy, "Can we just hang up the phone?" Like, really? And Candace sitting there like it was cool. Now, Candace already in part one, if y'all recall, sat there and, telling the world as though she was trying to placate her clear in-laws that she cursed out her mother. And I didn't think that was cool. And then to turn around and, this man is saying, "Hang up on your mama," and you sitting there with that wig slipping and sliding all over your scalp. But I'm going to shut up because I'm not dragging nobody tonight. We just breaking down what happened. Glennis say the numbers ain't matching. Y'all please hit the like button, okay? Now, what you say, Angie? That clear Ned, the wino, needs to be quiet. Oh, my. I was thinking more like Woodrow from Sanford and Son, but all right. So then they start on recapping that trip that Wendy set up, her good vibes only trip. Okay, and they went straight to the clips of DJ Nasty G, otherwise known as Mia's husband. Now, those clips were a trip because DJ Nasty G got real nasty on the trip with the thrust and the tongue licks and the air humping and the whole thing. He said, "Why you holding back?" I'm trying to, be nice for a little bit. Say if apologies are fake, they are so fake. Shayna McGee, you say go ahead and drag. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be nice. I really am. So it was so funny. And then they ask, does he always get loose if you get a few drinks in? And Mia says, absolutely always. And okay, so Tammy's a sniper. She says, Candace Weave be bobbing. Absolutely. You will never land a punch. Hey, sweet diva. That's right. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. So anyway, Mia says always. He says always is a strong word. And then they bring up, one of the viewers brings up the question about Ashley and says that, hey, your husband acts a million times worse. Why were you so sensitive about DJ Nasty G? Now, y'all know my opinion because I said it up front. I feel like it was an issue of I need to make a problem with somebody. Definitely this black man saying anything to me, I'm going to behave as though, he's doing something sexual toward me or he's doing something inappropriate and I feel offended or I feel intimidated or, you know what I mean? Like she really put on her Miss Millie from The Color Purple routine with G because G ain't do nothing but say something about her sleeping. This lady acted like straight up like this man had lit her on fire or asked her to strip for a couple of ones. Like she went over the top. And then she tried to defend the fact that the person said that her husband acts a million times worse. And I love that production has been really rolling that beautiful bean footage. Oh, wow. 72 likes, y'all. That's what y'all doing to your sis? Please hit the like button to help me out. You know I'd be begging for likes now. Come on. So anyway, that's right, Dana. I'm just saying. So she tried to defend it. And, I don't know how it got directed to Karen, but it did. And Karen was like, I don't have an issue with G because he took the time to get to know me while I was getting to know Mia. So basically, he wasn't a problem for me. Hey, Miss Abby R. Oh, my God, I miss you. How you been? So anyway, here comes Giselle jumping in. Well, he hasn't, Michael has never done anything overtly sexual. Like if y'all can't see the Yellow Alliance, I don't know what else to do to point it out to you. She was willing to tell a whole lie. And I love that production actually showed where she was the one that was complaining in the earlier seasons when Michael was doing stuff like grabbing the guy Andrews behind, and then went to Ashley to talk about it and ask her, did she have a problem with it? And the fact that, Andy Cohen pointed out, which I said, I find it real funny, this reunion, he's been calling Giselle on a lot of her crap. And I'm not sure what it's about, but I think it's real strange. Just like I think it's strange that they gave Karen her own show, her own little spinoff show, and his favorite, his bestie Giselle didn't get one. And that was, it's looking more and more strange as this reunion goes on. But he called her on it and was like, but how can you say that when he clearly said that he would rock Juan's mic and it was not open mic night? You say Michael been tickling booties. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yolanda Franklin say Giselle is the ultimate hypocrite and gaslighting fool. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess because like production is really putting her on the spot. Oh, wow. Hey, hit me up, please. But I'm going to do my best to keep you laughing just for you. I got you. You say it's about time Giselle needs a redo. Yeah, she definitely needs a do-over, but something is real, real, real funny. Ebony M say, yeah, I remember when Giselle met with Ashley and asked her, was she okay that Michael did what Michael did? I remember that scene. Giselle said to Ashley, something must have happened because there is a court date. But, this ain't the first time. DT, thank you so much for the super chat. All right. DT helping me beg for likes now. Y'all, please, let's get them likes up. So anyway, it was just funny to see Ashley's face, when production and Andy Cohen was like, nah, Michael is a whole problem. Michael is out here squeezing the Charmin and, you know, signing up for open mic night. That's all I'm saying. So it was real strange to see her face. She tried, like I said, she tried to, you know, walk it back, but Andy hit her with the fellatio comment, and it was a TKO. Real strange. And then she says that, get this. I love when people try to double talk and it don't work out. Dr. J says Karen should have slapped Giselle, grabbing her butt cheeks when they hug. Why would she do that? You know what I'm saying? They're in an alliance. So even though you could tell she was cringing, she had to let it slide because she needed it to look like they were on the same team, because it was Team Yellow versus Team Brown Girl. So even though she ain't like it, she couldn't smack her hand. Not when you trying to put up a united front to go after somebody else. I done told y'all, I see what it is. And so Ashley then, but this is what I want y'all to get. Ashley tried to defend Michael with him saying he wanted to do that to Juan, as she said it was a joke. And then she turned right around. If y'all go back and rewatch, turned right back around and said he don't even remember saying it. How can you say it was a joke and the man say he don't remember saying it? Like, which one is the truth? Like, you know, like I said, Ashley need to stop, because I can tell every time she tell a lie, her forehead gets a little bit bigger. And I believe that because when she first started on that show, her forehead was not that big. Her forehead has expanded every season. And I think there is a direct correlation between the square footage of her forehead and the amount of lies she tell every single season. Okay? Right, Andrew Mack. DJ Nasty G grosses her out, but he ain't grab nobody, male or female, right? But we gonna let her go off with that one. Okay. So anyway, G apologized to her. And then I want y'all to catch this, because I don't want you to miss it. I don't want y'all to miss this. The problem is, when it comes to Ashley, when she's fishing for a storyline, fishing for a moment, she's always shook when it don't work out. Yep, we love you, boo. Hey, Jen Bunny. But this is the thing. She fishes for it and it doesn't work out. She was fishing for it with G. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. You tired of her elitist attitude? I am too. When your mama lives under bridges, I'm going to need you not to be an elitist. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to need you not to do that. Hey, Ann Rose. But when G's, you know, very eloquently, like the black professional male that he is, apologized to her. He was very polite and pleasant about it. She, like, her eyes like went to rattling in her head, and she had this shocked look on her face. And it wasn't because, oh, I'm shocked he apologized. It was because, oh my God, I needed you to be like, I didn't do nothing to her, because she knows he didn't do nothing to her. She wanted him to stick to his guns because she know that man ain't do nothing. And so that way she could make a moment, and she could be the damsel in distress, and she could say, oh my God, this big scary Negro. Like, girl, stop. Like I said, if Ashley don't cut out her shenanigans, she's going to look like Telly Savalas. That's all I'm saying. She going to be the one in the reboot the Kojak. Because I'm telling you, there is a direct correlation in her square footage of forehead and the lies she tell. Sasha Ellis, thank you so much for the super chat. You say listening and watching Steeler Nation and clicking that like button at the same time. You know what? The Steelers are taking over this chat. Everybody else, y'all can rep y'all team too. My team ain't doing nothing. I'm a Buccaneers fan. But y'all can rep y'all team too. Hey, Claudette. So anyway, but beyond that, it was the look on her face that let me know she was looking for a moment, and her moment never came. That's all. And so Rob Bass had to defend Juan's absence. And she's like, well, he's a coach, and he coaches year round, and that's why he can't come and be on nothing, and he can't never film, and blah, 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 blah. But unless I'm mistaken, so is Jen Shah's husband on Salt Lake City. And he's not absent for everything. He's absent for a lot, and that's, you know, that's expected. But, hey, Latavia, but the problem is, how on earth are you going to use that as an excuse for the man never, like, recording ever? And when he does show up on camera, now this is what I want to talk about. Not only does the man seldom show up on camera, but when he does show up on camera, He appears to be very short, patient, and irritated every time. And it's not at the camera. His behavior is short, patient, and irritated toward her. Hey, Delicia. All right. So that's what time it is. That is what time it is. Right. Coach Shaw shows up more than Juan all the time. That's why I said that's no excuse. Juan doesn't show up because Juan don't like her. And I don't think it's about him not liking the show, not liking the people on the show, not liking the crew. Juan don't like her. And that's just that. And I don't know what the reason is. Like we can make jokes and we can guess, but we really don't know why that man don't like her. Any man that shows up on national TV to low-key tell the world you don't get out of bed and wash your behind in the morning, listen, that man don't like you. Like, let's be clear. And then he shows up on the camera yet again to point out the fact that your car dirty. He don't like you. Miss Peaches N.O. says, Juan acts like Mark on RHOA. Exactly. He acts a lot like him. Mark was a little bit tougher on Kenya because he kept like catching Kenya in her lies and correcting her right there in front of the camera. Hey, G darling. He never, ever back and was like, well, we'll talk about it privately. Mark was like, you lying. That ain't what happened. You lying. That's not what was said. You lying. Them people ain't do that. And that's what was funny with Mark. It was embarrassing because I think most ladies who have husbands, all of us was kind of like sitting back like, you know, you could have did that behind closed doors. You didn't have to do her in front of the camera. But like I said, and like Sis just said, they don't like them women. That's how he treated Kenya the same way Juan is treating Robin, like she is on his last good nerve. Now, this is where Wendy got on my nerves a little bit. She tried to jump into that conversation while she was making an excellent point. You see everybody on that stage is defending his excuses for not being there. So just let it go, Wendy. That got blocked. Then Chris jumps in. Well, not jumps in, but Chris decided he did jump into that conversation to defend Juan. And I think that's because that's his friend. But then Chris responds to the husbander comments, and he said that they made way too much out of it. He's a glorified secretary, and he don't manage her career. Okay, he said basically, y'all, he's answering emails and responding to stuff so that way people can get in touch with Candace. Okay, cool. Now, I hope he realized he said this on national TV. So if something go wrong, he's not going to be able to pull a Kendu Isaacs like, on her. Which I don't think is too much danger anyway, because I seriously do not believe Candace finna make no Mary J money. But in the event that she makes even a quarter of it, he ain't going to be able to come back, y'all, and say, well, I helped her manage her career and I need a check. Because he just sat there and told us he was a glorified secretary and said that basically, he said everybody is treating him like he ain't nothing and he ain't never had nothing. Q Black sent, by the way. Like, I ain't never had nothing and I don't come from nothing. And when we was first going together, I paid my rent and her rent. And, when we was staying over there, I wasn't going to pay that one because it was an investment property in her and her mama name until we were married. Okay, cool. That's what you say. She co-signed that a little bit. That's what you say. And hey, Egypt, now, I think I spoke to you, but I'm going to speak again. But I heard all that blah, blah, smackety. But it doesn't cover the fact that he said he ain't never quit a job. So if you didn't quit the job, did you get fired? What happened? What you say, Andrew Mack? It was the black scent for you? Oh, it was definitely the black scent for me. That's all I'm trying to say. It was the black scent for me. Now, he say he ain't never quit no job, which I feel like Miss Dorothy ain't made that up. Now, whether it's tomato, whether you quit, whether you just quit showing up and they quit putting you on the schedule, I don't know what you did, but you did something that gave that woman the impression that it was a quit. Either which way it go, after you married her daughter, you managed to magically stop working somewhere. Now, that's what we do know, Chris. And we know you ain't got no job now. We know that because you ain't been able to show us one. Matter of fact, if y'all recall, he got mad at brother-in-law, Perry, for making the comment that he ain't teaching no cooking class. And he hurried up and posted like a screen, I guess the screen from his advertisement for a cooking class. That still don't mean you teaching one. Like, it's embarrassing, buddy. You don't work. And people calling you broke and saying you living off your mother-in-law, because you are. That's why that lady says stuff she say and don't really like you. And the fact that he pointed out, now this is the thing. He points out that he never sat down with her and had a conversation about finances. How would you be able to sit down with her and have a conversation about finances? Yes, Jen Bunny, where the W-2s at? That's what I'm trying to understand. Yeah, straight deadbeat. You didn't have no conversation with her about finances. You got to have finances to enter a conversation about finances, Chris. How you going to talk money when you don't speak that language? We'll wait over here quietly with you. Because you're going to have to be real quiet in a conversation about money when you don't have any. And I thought that was that was some definite double talk, trying to get out of the fact that that lady was paying bills in your house where you supposed to be the man. And that's why people is saying you a whole bum. You's a whole dusty. And that's what he's mad at, is the fact that people are pointing it out. You want to imitate black men when you speak. Well, guess what? Welcome to the party. Get your Roman noodles and your folding chair and get comfortable. Because we call black men that don't work bums. And while you trying to imitate black men and you ain't working, all right, bummy, pull up a chair. That's all we said. And so when they were talking about that, and Chris was like, they were talking about the situation with Miss Dot, and Chris saying, oh, it's okay, everything's okay. And Candace is like, well, it's not. And I think Candace is saying, nah, it's not. Because you must be complaining and whining to her about it. Okay? Now, during that time, Mia's sitting over there grinning. What she grinning for, I don't know. I think she started grinning actually when Andy asked Candace, do you see a lot of yourself? You see a lot of your mother in yourself? And Candace was like, yeah, I do. And, some stuff I don't want to do like my mom. And then she has a lot of great qualities. And some of those things I do want to emulate. And that's when that heifer started grinning. Now, Edward James almost need to, fall back on the grinning. Because at the end of the day, why are you grinning? What do you want to imitate from your mama? Because we haven't heard you say a whole lot nice about your mama unless you were crying with your lunch meat quivering, trying to pretend like somebody calling her low budget was going to make her grab the nearest crack pipe. I just found that real funny. I feel like, as much as Mia go around screaming that other women are insecure, I think she really needs to take a good look in that accountability mirror. I think the insecurity is hers. And yes, she is annoying. Absolutely annoying, Marva. And what you say, Shayna McGee? You say, and see, one of the problems I have with Candace calling G a pimp, Chris is the biggest pimp of them all. Chris is her foster son. You ain't noticed? Chris can't even say nothing to her without getting cussed out. G don't get cussed out in his house. That would be a pimp. Okay? And, Candace is a foster mother. That's the difference. Because he gets allowance from time to time and get cussed out. And I believe he might even get hit. That's all I'm saying. Somebody gonna call the people on him. Angie, did you really go back to that old song? I'm not even putting that on the screen. But you crazy. But yeah, her sitting there grinning while this girl is saying, like all of us, we see stuff in our mamas that we want to emulate, and there's things that's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to act like that. But it was the smirking and the grinning for me, and I just feel like, again, you shouldn't have too much to say when you done told the whole world your mama is an addict. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, bye. But anyway. Then they move on. Viewer asked about Mia's lie about Chris, which that was real trifling. Like, why are we doing that? Mia was trifling for that, talking about how would you feel if you found out he was tossing your salad. Girl, stop. That's all I can say. Girl, stop. You knew good and well that man ain't never touched you, looked at you, or nothing else. It was dead wrong. So she says, well, it was a jab. Giselle tried to help her chime in. Oh, it was just a jab because she called me handsome. Girl, first of all, Candace just stole that joke from Gabor. And I feel like it was only out of place because you don't make a good looking man. But I'm just gonna shut up. I'm not dragging tonight. Um, and then Candace was like, well, because you took a picture of my feet and zoomed in on my feet. And she says it's because Candace was talking about her feet during the season. All she said was that your feet was big. And what I find interesting is that Giselle also said you had big feet, but you didn't zoom in on her cankles and cow hooves and put them on the internet. You zoomed in on Candace's squirrel paws. That's what you did. Now, mind you, anybody can have some feet that ain't so cute. So it's, it was the zoom in for me. And I'm like, girl, you don't want nobody to zoom in on your foot because people going to think they looking at the Statue of Liberty. But I'm going to shut up because I'm not dragging. I'm just saying. LEL says, I'm going to call CPS on Candace. What you say? Protective Services, Chef Protective Services. She better not be beating that man. She might be. I hope she get a check for him. But anyway, there was the tit for tat where you did this, where you did that for me. And so Wendy got at her too about making that comment about Eddie, like, oh, he couldn't even make contact. He couldn't even make eye contact with me. A man not looking at you doesn't mean that he thinks you're attractive. She is a dangerous liar because she will lie to your face on you. It's a lot of people like that. Yolanda say Mia's supposed to be a boss, but don't have smoke for Giselle or Rizal. You so crazy. Not even a brush fire. Okay. But yeah, so that was interesting. And the eye contact thing was a reach. A man didn't look at you don't mean he's attracted to you. And Wendy was, just like, hey, after she pulled that you're insecure, she was like, but you run around lying on people, saying that people tossed your salad and everybody's attracted to you and all the other women are insecure. I want to know aesthetically, what would make these women insecure about her? Like what is it? Your skin may be yellow, but it's also dripping off of your face. Like nobody is insecure at that. But the fact that she keeps lobbing that insult at all of these women that they must be insecure about her, I'm not sure why. I'm just not sure why. Other than maybe she might be talking about herself and how she feels about them. Like maybe she looks at each of the women in this group and she feels a reason to be insecure about each one of them for different reasons. That's all I'm saying. Andrew, what you say? Ain't nobody insecure about Joanna, man? Right. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. That's all I'm saying. And that's just that on that. You say Candace is a beautiful girl. Candace looks nice when she's not painted up like a squirrel. That's all I'm going to say. If she can quit with the squirrel makeup, she looked much nicer in the earlier seasons when she did not, before she started doing that. I don't know whether she's doing it or she's paying somebody to do all that extra contouring. It looks real, suspicious. Wait a minute. Candace sings No Romance Without Finance to Chris with a hairbrush every night. Oh my. You say Shortcake 1966 says, did someone post a pic of Mia's feet saying she wore stripper heels to the reunion? Mia said she wore stripper heels to the reunion. That's the thing. I'm not sure why anybody would do that. Why she would, why would she even call those shoes that? Like, it was just too much. And then she wants people not to mention that she was a stripper, but she and her husband constantly mention and make reference to the fact that Miss Thing was a whole stripper. Now this is when it gets interesting. And I'm going to tell y'all why this is interesting to me. Andy started asking Eddie how he felt about the rumors and stuff. And he was like, it was whatever, but I felt like they didn't really have no concern for how it would affect my children or my family, I think is how he put it. She basically tells Andy she don't owe him no apology because I said I didn't believe it. But you still aired that stuff on the air. Mind you, according to her, Karen asking a question at the last reunion on national television warranted an apology. But you airing out rumors from a blog that you say you don't believe nothing about because they telling people about your flamethrower. You say you don't owe this man no apologies. Andy did ask Eddie how he felt about going on a trip, around her. I didn't see y'all really interact. And of course, Eddie's still a gentleman. And so he's like, we were cordial or whatever. And that's just what it is, and I like him for that. Sharon says, well, she should stop giving ammunition. She is all over the place. Yeah. Lala says Mia's trying to stretch her 15 minutes of fame. I'm not sure. I don't know what she's doing. I know it's odd to watch. So, that was that on that. But I just found that it was more hypocrisy from Giselle. She didn't owe that man an apology for putting him out there on some crap that she knew wasn't true off the rip. And then, but for her, on her end, Karen owed her an apology, and she was walking around with a stink face the whole first half of this season because of that lady asking her a question on a reunion. Okay? They move on to the Karen clips, and it ends with the production showing, hey, Miss Ree, a clip of Giselle being nasty in her confessional talking about this lady's vow renewal, and she's sliding in DMs, and when Andy asked her about it, I was just joking. You weren't joking. You were being nasty. And I feel like now she's on this kick about, I'm just joking. It was just a joke, because they are so desperate to show a united front so that they can attack Candace as a team. It needs to be a team attack. So at this point, we're not going to get no real reactions out of Karen or Giselle. And I think that's clear. Karen says that her county now has Wi-Fi. And somebody said something about a bed and breakfast, and Robin sitting over there rolling her eyes. And that disgusted me. Like, to me, the most action we got out of Robin was her facial expressions that she should have kept to herself. Why are you rolling your eyes because this lady's talking about what she's doing for her hometown? Robin, what are you doing for anybody? You're not even hawking them flea market hats and gas station hats like you're supposed to. You're not even washing your tail and keeping your man at home. You're not even taking care of your children by your own admission. You said you've been being a bad mama and you've been neglecting your kids. So this lady done raised her children, taking care of her husband and her home, and doing extra things for her hometown, and you over there rolling eyes. Girl, bye. Focus on why you don't have anything to say at this reunion over 2 to 3 sentences, because you played no role in this season other than to get read for filth by Wendy Osefo. That's really all you did for yourself. And it was real pitiful. So the eye roll was not necessary. They asked, one of the viewers asked Ray why he told Miss Karen to mention, what they were launching. And he says he wants her marketed. And he feels like she don't market herself as much as she could. And he's probably right. And so she was giving him his props for, pushing her to be on HSN and to be in Bloomingdale's and different things like that. And then y'all explain to me why Chris jumped in and tried to make the Karen and Ray segment about him. See, this is typical clear people behavior. Talking about what's the difference in, if I do the same thing for Candace, what's the difference? Why am I riding his coattails? And like, really, this is not about you. Everybody has already come to the conclusion that you dusty as hell. You are a dust storm, sir. A whole dust storm. That segment wasn't about him, but the fact that he tried to center it around him and take the attention away from a beautiful black marriage is real sick. Real sick. And I thought it was actually, Giselle actually had a good point. And I got to give it to her. I don't do that, heifer, but she had a good point. She said because Ray held Karen down, he was the breadwinner. Now she's doing her thing and he's actually being supportive. And that is extremely different. And you've never been the breadwinner. You've never just held her down. We haven't seen you for an extended, consistent period of time, be the man of the house. Your mother-in-law is the man of the house. Okay? And then you got the nerve to try to compare yourself to a successful, consistently successful wildly successful black man. You could never, black scent or no black scent, and it don't matter how many lies that squirrel tell about the color of your genitals. You could never compare to Uncle Ray. If we tried to roll you in chocolate, you would never be his match. It's a hot mess. And I thought that was real disgusting. And I'm mad that ain't nobody point out how disgusting that was. But I'll do it if they don't. And it was just interesting. Like, he really didn't have no comeback for that. Other than to say, well, we was dating, I paid her rent and my rent. And Candace was like, well, he probably did for 1 month, maybe 2 tops. Maybe 2. And then the question came up about Karen's wedding, because she did make that little comment about, real wedding, real relationship. Y'all know them people weren't getting along at that time. So literally, I feel like there was no way for anybody to misconstrue and say that Miss Karen's vow renewal was a shot at Robin. After all, we were all watching last season's reunion when Uncle Ray sprung that on her and told her that's what they were going to be doing. So it would make sense if he sprung that on her that they were going to plan it and have it. I don't know why people like to forget what was going on. All right. LEL, what you say? You say there's only so much money you can make from frying fish and putting barbecue on ribs. Candace knew what she was getting into. If she wanted to be held down, she should have been in the kitchen frying. I mean, that's all well and good, but we know she was trying to get her own proximity to clearness now. Come on. And she didn't care if she had to get the bargain basement version. Hey, Wanda. And that's exactly what she got. Now, they move on to the comment about Mike and Juan. Neither one of these men wearing their rings, which to me is a dry conversation. It's a dry and a dead one. You got 2 men that don't wear rings because these 2 men that don't want to be married. Mike want to be a swinger, and Juan just want to be with anybody but Robin. Period. Robin back to, he was a professional ball player, and I don't think he was wearing his ring because he didn't want to. And then eventually, because he wasn't wearing it, I sold it. No, ma'am, your money was bad. That's why you sold it. See, that's what I don't like. Tell the truth and shame the devil. You ain't the first person to mess up some money. You one of very few people to mess up that much doggone money, which might have contributed to why that man don't like you no more. However, don't be up there talking about you sold a ring because he wouldn't wear it. You sold that ring because you needed money. Because according to you, you was in there heating up water on the stove for your children to bathe. And you know what else? You wasn't wrong to sell that ring. If you done messed up the money and your children need to eat, they need clothes, they need electricity, whatever, you should have sold it. But don't be lying about it. That's all I'm going to say. It's the line for me. Disgusting. Don't lie. Just don't lie. And then Ashley up there still telling this long drawn out lie about a knot on this man's finger. First of all, this man with all this doggone money, the same person that you bragging about, he used to own the Watergate. You mean to tell me he couldn't buy a ring big enough to fit around the knots on his finger? That's number 1. And number 2, why are you dating a man so old that he growing knots on his fingers? Or not dating, but married. Stop with the lies about the knot on his finger. The putrins. If it's on that finger, why he couldn't wear it on his middle finger? Why he couldn't wear it on his other hand? Why he couldn't wear it on the chain around his neck? That man don't want to be married. He wants to run through and pluck all the flowers in the field is what he want to do. Okay? So that was a dead point. Just absolutely dead. Now, a viewer points out how terrible Michael acts toward Chris and Candace, and the fact that he acts a whole lot worse toward them than they ever act toward him. And she jumps in, and basically her excuse for her, what's the word for Michael? For her undead husband is that, well, really, that's true because he's more mad with Candace and how aggressive Candace is with me. You see how she threw that aggressive in there for the black girl? Come on now. She's aggressive too, and she screeches and whines, and her voice is nasal and annoying, but it's not considered aggressive. She says how aggressive he is toward, how aggressive Candace is toward me. So he takes it out on Chris. And she said that with a straight face like it was normal. Okay. So that's that on that. That was a mess. The men left. and I was kind of glad for the men to leave because I felt like they didn't have to drag out that long. They could have did that whole segment with the men in 10 minutes on part 2. This didn't need to be a whole show for this. It didn't. Hey Carol, hey Deborah. Now Deborah says, I wonder one whole grudge about Rob sleeping with his friend and the outcome from that. See, I don't know. Nacho Twins mama say, no, you're not, Chanel, with the worms. Well, she probably, if that's the case, I really feel like she probably full of worms at this point. Yeah, I didn't know that, Jen Bunny. Hey, Just Jules JG. So yeah, that was, I just thought it was real interesting. But anyhow, the men left, and then you got Nicki Minaj coming on the stage. Hey, Lager Curbs. She comes on the stage. Andy gives her his chair after he orders tequila, and she comes out. You say Michael want to pick the flowers and the weeds. You ain't wrong. And he leaves. He takes the tequila and he goes. And then I think that was just more or less an intro. So we didn't get a whole lot, but we did get an idea of what we in for from Ms. Minaj. She tried to give him the little soft pat first before she came with everything. She said she got questions from her and the Barbs. So whatever that means. She says that she's watched the show from the beginning. She's a fan, blah, blah, blah. And then basically went straight to Ashley and said, you basically ain't had no storyline this year, period. So is that why you decided it was okay to be Giselle's sidekick? And, basically you love, as in her words, you lugged your breast milk, over there to this trip so you could start some mess and get some camera time. She says, oh no, that wasn't it. But the truth of the matter is, like Nikki said, and I hate to agree with her of all people, but as soon as you did it, you left. And then Candace over there talking about, well, she has to work. And she was like, oh, Candace, you. And it's like, okay, Candace, why are you sitting up there trying to take up for somebody who literally played all kind of color games right in your face? That's why I say sometimes the mess Candace gets, she deserved. Because baby girl don't know when to shut up. You say you glad she gonna ask the real questions because that's what it looks like. Well, she came and asked Ashley some real questions. What you say, Andrew Matt? Nikki went straight in. I can't wait for that either. That what's gonna happen next week should have been this week because they could have wrapped this up. So what it looks like we're gonna see, part of what we're gonna see next Sunday is Nikki going in further, even further. Hit Mia with basically, why are you trying to pretend like it wasn't a strip club? So if they had, do you think because they serve steak and stuff it makes it not a strip club? And Mia dumb behind talking about, when I think strip club, I think chicken wings. Like, girl, it don't matter what food they serve. You was up in there, popping coochie. I don't know a nice way to put it. You were doing things that women normally don't want their daughters to be doing. That's what you were doing. Okay. So anyway, then we see where she flat out asked everybody up there if they feel like Mike is attracted to Juan. Ashley gonna ask the dumb question, like, you mean sexual issues? Like, what other way are we talking about? Then I think I saw her asking, no, not asking, but saying that Candace used auto-tune and she want to hear her actually sing, and Candace up there backpedaling. Like, I don't really want to sing. I don't feel like singing. And Giselle jumping in because she was enjoying that. Was like, well, we ain't say you got to sing drive back, just saying something. So she really wasn't trying to, answer that at all. So I think it's going to be real interesting to see how they answer these questions. Definitely want to see what kind of questions she got for Giselle, because I heard that she really asked Giselle some heavy questions. You say Nikki need to worry about her R-word husband. You gotta say R-word court case and get off TV and go ask him some real questions. Well, maybe it might be a reason why she on TV and not talking to him. Y'all better read between the lines. Lel say, right, Candace just wanted to talk to Nikki. Why was she defending Ashley? I wanted to bop her head and watch it bobble. She made me mad. Right. Say, why did Karen put the cloth over her eyes? God only knows. Well, see, that's the thing, Yolanda. I'm hearing that Nikki really did have some questions for Giselle. Mm-hmm. Say this gonna be better than I thought. I'm not a supporter of Minaj and her husband. Me either. Mm-hmm. Girl, you ain't wrong about what you're saying. What I'm saying is read between the lines. Think about this now. All this stuff going on, and you pick now to come on a reality show reunion and film. I feel like Miss Thing might be trying to distance herself from it because you know her name is all up and through there, you know. Now, Miss Reese say, if I was Candace, I wouldn't have sang for her crazy butt either. But this is the problem, Miss Reese. If she don't sing, when somebody put her on the spot like that, it makes it look like you can't sing. Right. That's the only issue. And you say Candace need to tell Nikki she's saying with the same technology. The problem is Nikki's not a singer, she's a rapper. So if a rapper uses auto-tune to sing, ain't nobody clutching no pearls. But last I checked, Candace ain't say she was the rapping squirrel. Candace is the singing squirrel. Okay, that's all I'm saying. It's a little funny. It's a little fishy. Yeah, thank you. She trying to distract us. That's exactly what's going on. But in the process of her trying to distract us from the person with the R word situation, she's definitely getting them questions asked that the regular people won't ask. Not those viewer questions that Andy Cohen sit there and handpick that he wants to ask. She coming in there with actual questions from regular ordinary people, not handpicked clear questions. And just say Candace be acting like High School Musical all the time. Yeah, more or less. Hey, Queen B. Yeah, let me see you squirrel. I used to love that song too. I can't do the squirrel no more. My knees bad. I bet you Candace can do it. Ebony say Candace want her deep voice to be comparable to Toni Braxton and Anita Baker. I hope she's not hoping for that. She won't get that for Christmas. Lel say, did you see Nikki ask? Oh yes, where she asked her she what no what she said was if y'all had 100 million in the bank, would y'all have still married them same men? And that's when Ashley gonna bust out talking about I was attracted to him. She said, what were you attracted to? You're not gonna tell me that you attracted to the Walking Dead, Ashley. The only thing that attracted you to that man was his wallet, and the only other option was your mama. And we know she ain't got no money. So that's what attracted you to him. And I believe what Nikki said on that one. If you'd have had 100 million in the bank, you wouldn't have talked to him. Lala, what you say? I'm trying to tell y'all her backing track wasn't ready. Yeah, she needed something to lip sync to. And I'm gonna say this too. If that's auto tune, the voice that we heard was the auto tune. I don't want to hear what the real voice sounds like. I don't think I'm ready. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, no, Nikki's worth 80 million. Right. What you say? She attracted the bad grandpa. Yeah, exactly. Larga Curve says Ashley's attracted to beady little eyes and creepy see-through skin and spots. Oh, and money. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Queen Mermaid says Ashley is a liar. Girl, you tried it. She probably researched Michael. She probably did. And I'm not mad at her. Let me just say that off the rip. I am not mad at her. I do not subscribe to the idea that a woman marrying for a comfortable lifestyle or finding a suitable husband that can provide is gold digging. That's just real. Dejan McClellan, thank you for the super chat. She says, in my opinion, for next season, keep Giselle, Karen, Candace, and Ashley, the two newbies, Robin as a friend of the show, and get rid of Wendy and Mia. Can we also get rid of Ashley? Because she don't do nothing either. I don't know if we want to see another season of her pumping her boobs. Thanks for the super chat, though. I appreciate that. And you might be right. That might be the right lineup. That might be the right lineup. Real talk. Helene said his hands was counting that money. Yeah, maybe she thought he had sexy hands as long as she saw the money in his hands. The hands was real sexy. I seen a man like that one time. He had some sexy knuckles because he was counting money. Lala say Pennywise wanted to be a power couple with the Hobbit, Smeagol. Right. Dr. J say, listen, I'm tired of the bull. Juan and Michael production could have set up cameras in their homes or offices. That's true. There was a whole lot of ways that could have went down, and it really didn't. You say you can't do another season of Ashley or Robin. Yeah, they bring nothing. They bring nothing. You say, yeah, find a suitable husband, but maybe it's time to give it up when you searching in the graveyard of the nursing home. Listen, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't care if she had to dig him up. If she met him right after Dracula bit him, I don't know how she did it. But if she can stand it, my hat's off to any woman that can hold still and not run when they see that get naked and come at them. That she has my respect on that one. You want to swap Ashley and Robin for two new people. I think we all do. Hey, Born to Be Wild. Oh, hey, SS. Say Robin is insufferable. I can't look at one more scene with her in any capacity. She needs to go completely. Yeah, she does it. She brings nothing to the table that's substantive. She sits around making faces and rolling her eyes about other women having lives while she's sitting there treating her sons like they're her therapist. And Juan is like, a social worker that pops in every now and then and tells her to bathe. Miss Gigi says Wendy, Ashley, and Mia can go. And Sandman Robin too. Oh my gosh. You gonna throw off 3 members of Team Yellow plus Wendy? Hey, chubby girl cuteness. Now you say I breastfed, but I didn't wait until I knew I would be around other people to do it. I think Ashley wanted attention. Plus, how can you cuss out a lady pumping milk? Real easy. Real easy. Her ears work. Her boobs are engaged. Her ears are not. So she can hear being cursed out. I'm sorry. So if somebody wanted to curse her out, you're not off limits because there's a baby attached to your boob. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's just kind of like that. You said nobody wants a visual of Michael naked. Right. No, think about that. None of us even want to imagine it. And this is this girl's reality. Y'all can't tell me that's not some real strong-willed stuff. That's like seeing somebody come close to you with a chainsaw and you can run, but you hold yourself there and you don't run off. I just feel like give her credit. That's all. Yeah, actual housewives, right. Hey, Kimber Monique. If they could be actual housewives, that would be really, really cool. You say, why all the heavy-duty eyeshadow on Robin's eyes? That's too much. I agree. You will get no argument from me. Now you say maybe bring back Charisse and get the lady who was divorced from Giselle's ex Sherman in exchange for Ashley and Robin. No, let's not bring back Charisse. Charisse is a terrible, terrible person. And the lady that's divorced from Sherman, unless she's married, why are we going to bring a divorced lady with no husband on the Housewives show? We already got Giselle and Robin that ain't got no husbands. So we're going to bring in more so it can be like Atlanta, a bunch of unmarried women. Right. You said you here for Wendy. I don't really like her, but she has been entertaining this season. I got to be honest. Angie, did you say throw bleach in your eyes and put you out your misery? I cannot. I absolutely cannot. Like I said, I'm, on that note, I give Ashley her respect because I couldn't do it. Just because I can't do it, I'm not going to judge her for it. I just know I don't have the strength. I don't know. There's no way I could hold still for that. LEL said if he came anywhere near me, I would pass the F out. I would rather be euthanized than spread my legs for an expired scallion like that. Oh my. Oh Lord. Said and on cue, here is the State Farm commercials. Right, right. And I hope you all are supporting Robin in her venture with State Farm. You say Chris was a chatterbox. Yeah, he did not shut up. He did not. You say you're not an Idris fan. You say Eddie looks better. Sis, you want well, you know it's in the eye of the beholder. I'm never gonna say Eddie look better than Idris. I don't think we can go that deep. That's too deep, sis. You might be alone in that one, or maybe you and Wendy think that he looks better. Hey, Vanessa. You waiting for Happy and Ness to demand that they be called doctors. I'm through. Is this really what y'all doing? Y'all are crazy. Michael looks like melted Swiss cheese. Okay, well, tell us how you really feel. So this is what I think overall. Part 3 of the reunion, in my humble opinion, it could have been done in 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes. They could have put it at the end of part 2, or maybe they could have broken it up and put 15 minutes extra on part 2, and what they're calling part 4 should have been part 3 with like a little extended clip, like an extended 15 minutes, because they've done that before. Like, this was a lot of filler, and you had to dig through all the fluff to dig out exactly what was going on and what was even the point of a lot of what we watched tonight. Kathy, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that, and I'm hoarse and everything. That's a lot of love. Chubby Girl Cuteness says, until Wendy officially and publicly apologizes to Monique, I can't get with her. I'm not, what she did to Monique, joining in with that bugged me, but not as much as her participating in what she is definitely intelligent enough to know was wrong against another Black woman, whether it was Monique or anybody else. The fact that she participated and she has the intelligence to know that that was wrong was one. And then that comment she made to Karen, I thought that was very ugly. I thought it was very ugly. During that conversation when Karen pointed out her slithering downstairs. Miss Gigi says, it would take a lot of mind-altering drugs for me to be with Michael. Tonight's episode is an hour of my life I can't get back. Totally agree. Because I had to watch it with a magnifying glass to pick up the body language, the facial expressions, what was said, what was not said. Say, why was Candace crying again? When is Candace not crying? And then I'm going to follow up to answer that. Hey, Ty Bowden, how you been? Okay. You think Chris was fed up with the group. Okay, well, let's talk about why. I think Chris had an opportunity to watch the season back and see all the shade and understand that it's not just one person, that a lot of people feel a certain type of way. I didn't understand why they were shooting at Karen, because in reality, Karen has been the most fair to them as far as not really dragging him, in all honesty. And I didn't like the fact that Candace was sitting there like, oh, everybody has not said something about your broke, dusty husband. Say Ashley should be dizzy from all that spinning she's doing with her old man river husband. Oh my. I don't know. You say her mouth is too slick to be crying all the time. And yet she does it masterfully. So let me do this right here. Let me grab that link, throw it in the chat so y'all can put that, if y'all want to come up, you're welcome to, because I know I might have missed some stuff. I was so busy looking for what was going on. Sometimes you can look so hard that you don't see what's happening. So if y'all saw something that I did not see, please feel free to grab that and holler at me about it. But what I wanted to say is the fact that Chris is fed up because I think this was his first time understanding that everybody has, not everybody, but A large percentage of that group, including Giselle, who's always faking his face, really felt that way about him. And the fact that it's like people see through you. You may think you putting a facade out there, but they really see you as a bum. Oh yeah, of course. Always. Really, Queen Mermaid say Michael looks like he smells like old liquor, Bengay, urine, and blue cheese. You know what? That's a heck of a mental image. And I actually smelled it for like a brief second when I read it. Ty Bowden said, well, thanks for asking, helping with my family. Missed you guys. Oh, we missed you too. Now, Chris to me appeared to be drunk. He got issues. Yes. And then when he was leaving, he said he needed some more tequila. You say bum since day one. Yeah, he came in as a bum. And I think nobody pointed it out because he was clear. And now that people are pointing it out and people are not afraid to say it, that's why he was in his feelings. You know, people don't like to be found out. It's just like if you got a beggar that's in amongst the social group and they going from person to person constantly begging. They go to one person and ask for gas money, and they go to the next person and say light bill money. They go to the next person and say, can you help with my groceries? Then the next person, can you help with this and that? They hate when people, start comparing notes and pointing out the fact that this person is a whole beggar, you a whole Dusty. Because Dusty is not, relegated to men only. It's some female Dusties out here too now. Dr. J 1913 says Juan is setting Robin up. They're in that house now. Now he wants to send her away to a mental retreat. That's why Robin said, I don't need that type of help. Yeah. Well, that man is trying to recoup his money. He's trying to get his money back. And you caught on that he was, on that cup real heavy. Really? Fart in a jar? Oh, wow. Oh, no, absolutely not. We shall never defame Yoda. I need you to take that back immediately, Helene Easley. He does not look like Yoda. No, ma'am. He looks like Jabba the Hutt on a very long crack bench. But we are not going to put that on Yoda. Absolutely not. No, no, no. Say it again, Larga Curves. Don't ever disrespect Yoda like that. Yoda has never hurt anybody. Say Michael is just one large liver spot. Ashley got a strong stomach to stay around. Yes, she has a very strong stomach. And my stomach isn't even strong thinking about the imagery because I cannot imagine what that room smells like when that man disrobes. Queen B says Chris only stays drunk to deal with Candace's butt. I think Chris is staying drunk to face the music, to face people who knows that he's a dust ball. He's a dust bunny. You know what? They might be really missing their money. They might be missing their money because they can do a cartoon, Dust Bunny and a squirrel, put it on Nickelodeon, dollar bills. Gertrude, hey, say Andy is a tiptoe trouble started. Did y'all pay attention to him walking on his toes? Oh, no, I didn't see that. Yeah, y'all know I love Yoda. Y'all know I love Yoda. Andrew Mack says, how about Rob saying Embellish paid off her taxes and made the down payment on her home? Y'all believe that, or was it her income from the show? It was definitely her income from the show. Definitely not buying it. Dr. J says she doesn't see him. That's why her butt was split. Oh, oh, the mental picture. Oh my. Okay. Mimi says Michael looks like one of those crickets on Men in Black. Oh. Y'all about to make my stomach flip. Say he got some strong eggs too. How they didn't immediately expire after coming in contact with his stale seed is a scientific anomaly. Oh my gosh. Okay. Larga Curve says, I think the drinking is a stick and not a problem. He hasn't been a famous drinker, but this season we saw it. Well, I mean, it only, everybody who has a drinking problem starts somewhere. It always starts somewhere. And I think it's a little, you know, I don't know. It doesn't look good. And then Candace said herself that he drinks in order to film. Now that's what his wife said about it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to pay attention to that. Yeah, we all know her mama helped her get that house. And let me say this again, nothing wrong with that. I feel like the parents who do not help their children get a home or buy their children their first home, it's because you can't afford to. Let's just tell the truth. So nothing wrong with it. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that she could do it. Kyra says those hats weren't even available during the season. They're not available in season or out of season. They're not available ever. Angie. We ain't finna talk about ATM and Moneybag, yo. Shortcake 1966 says, I think Michael and Ashley's sponsor. Michael was Ashley's sponsor back in her pageant days. You think so? He says, not unheard of for a young lady to fall for an older man, especially if she was having daddy issues. I do believe the daddy issues. I do believe she wanted her old, clear man because the old clear man that made her wanted nothing to do with her. But I don't know if that's an attraction. I don't know, Shortcake. I don't know what to call it. If it is, God bless her. And you can be attracted to someone's presence and still take off running like you heard a starter pistol when they strip off their clothes. And I just give her credit for not running. I don't know how she got either of those children. Vanessa says, I really have to respect Papa G. He apologized like a man to Miss Forehead. Yeah, and RoboCop was shook because she thought for sure she was going to get some smoke so she could be a whole victim. Babies, listen, we can't do that. A lot of us still waiting on grandchildren. Now, one of your grandbabies come out looking like, Johnny Carson. Don't say nothing. Don't be, be careful. Logger Curve say, actually, Robin only needed to sell 8,000 $25 embellished hats for house type money. Okay, find 8,000 people that bought them. I'm going to wait here. Lala Chanel say Rob Bass is delusional. Those 5 and below hats did not help her debt at all. Say it's cool your mom helped you out, but you got a man in your house that ain't doing nothing. Right. The problem is the man in the house that's broke, not her mama helping her. I see nothing wrong with that. Say the back snaps of Robin's caps are plastic and tacky. Did you expect anything better from her? Say if Candace is on mental meds, they take away your sex drive, so Chris drinks. But his wife said that he drank to film. That's what his wife said. Like Robin said, her price point on the hats are too low. She would have to sell a lot of those hats. Right. Right. The mama helping her is never going to be an issue for me. Right, Mimi. She fell in love with his wallet. Sometimes you can, love what you love. That's right. Please hit the like button, y'all. Please, please, please. Riding on school. Somebody get Angie. One of y'all get y'all sister, please. She said a man's sperm was riding on scooters to get to the egg. Okay. Y'all crazy. You say Ashley has check babies. Don't forget about the prenup. So I'm glad he apologized to her with the swiftness, though. He stole her storyline before she could make one up. That that happened to her twice already during this reunion. Because if y'all recall, Candace took her file from her during part 2. It was like, make your check another way. I'm not arguing with you. You say your cousin got one and it was on sale. Oh, child. You say she got the hats from Alibaba. I believe so. Andrew Mack says Rob says she don't need Macy. She's killing it online with him. I can't with y'all. I can't. And yes, I said Johnny Carson. Like, I'm not about to pick at nobody cheering for looking elderly. I don't have grandbabies of my own yet. And I would like my children not to come out looking like old Olivia. So I'm not going to pick on nobody's baby. Listen, much love to ATM and Moneybag Yo. I'm not going to say nothing about them kids. Hey, Jay Delaray. You say you think Robin lied about that Macy's deal? Robin definitely lied about that Macy's deal. You know Macy's ain't want them flea market hats in there. You say not ATM and Moneybag Yo. You was thinking Bernie Sanders and Elvis Presley. Nuh-uh. I done told. Okay, keep on. Keep right on. When your grandchildren come out with walkers, and I don't mean the cute ones that got toys on them. Don't say nothing. I done told y'all. Keep right on. Say, Robin, no, she lying because her website says nothing is available. They always say nothing's available. Right. Bravo is getting their cut on those hats. Anything that's promoted on that show, Bravo gets their cuts. Yeah. Wait a minute. 2 white covered races. Okay. All right. I ain't gonna tell y'all nothing else. Diana D say that's right. Nothing bad about the looks of kids. That's bad karma for your grandkids. I'm telling you, my grandbaby's gonna be cute whenever my children manage to get married and bring me one. But I'm not gonna say nothing about them children, okay? I only say ATM and Moneybag Yo because we know their mama was securing the bag when she got them. Yes, I called Ashley saying Dean looks like her now. So she trying to curse the baby saying he ain't gonna have no hairline. Tales from the Crypt. Wait a minute. You saw some of the hats at Goodwill? Y'all ain't finna do this tonight. Lager Curve say she got to weigh in.
Oh, hey, Seanitra. Hi, Royals. How y'all doing?
Hey, boo. Now, what's your opinion on part 3 of this reunion, girl? What you got to say?
Okay, honestly, I just was listening to your review. It doesn't come on yet for like 20 more minutes here in California. But I saw nobody else called in. I was like, let me just see. But based off of what you said, I think I might be more interested in what Nicki Minaj has to add to the conversation. However, I'm not a fan of Nicki Minaj or her husband's shenanigans and don't appreciate them kind of like using the ladies of Potomac by proxy blackness to clean up her act or make her more palatable on a larger scale. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should have had her do the reunion for Love and Marriage, hip hop or hip hop or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the days when they was dragging hoes in the freaking strip club because they was stripping on the dollar bill dude and the other one came in. Like that kind of reunion for the climate of what she's currently going through, you see, would have been more suited for her input. I feel
but let me ask you this real quick. Mm-hmm. Do you think that that's on par with Nicki Minaj's brand? Because we know historically, since Nicki Minaj has been in the game, she has gone out of her way, more or less, not to promote any other black women in rap for the longest. She did her part to be manipulative and underhanded to make sure that she didn't have to compete with other women in hip hop. So I can't really see her doing any type of hip hop type reunion because that would be giving some shine or support to other black women who want to be known in hip hop. She's never done it. Wouldn't that be not quite on par with her brand?
However, and is on par with her brand because it's about the tearing down of the black woman that she's there for. She's not there to lift these ladies up. She's not there to inquire about their goodness and their wellness. She's there to inquire about the dirt and the scuzz. And based on what she's there for, it is her brand. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but I do concur and agree completely with, because I just heard a couple, like, was it in the last month that she was subscribing to that lady being able to blackfish? And she was like, you need to just let that lady pretend to be black if she wants to pretend to be black and leave her alone and let her live her life. You know, that, didn't you hear about that? That white girl
Of
or
course
somebody?
I did.
Somebody was blackfishing, and Nicki Minaj was all on their bandwagon and liberties to blackfish freely. And so, yeah, it is on brand for what they're pushing about Nicki. But for them to swoop in our melanated goddesses over on Real Housewives of Potomac, I'm feeling like it's doing the franchise a disservice while benefiting Nicki. Like, I don't think that we are really benefiting from anything besides the dirt of it. Like, we do want to know the answers to these questions. But also, yeah, I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it. I would have much rather if if what's his name? If Andy Cohen would have had the sensitivity training that he went through Stick, and either have the same energy that he has for the black girls with the white girls, or have the same energy for the black girls that he has with the white girls, as long as it's evenly applied across franchises. I don't have an issue with old boy continuing to do the reunions. My issue is with him not rectifying and auto-correcting his movements within our community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
So I don't feel like it did Bravo any favors in black people's minds to have a black woman come on and attack black people. Like, we've had enough of black on black crime.
But
And
this is the question. Is asking a question an attack?
It's the energy behind the question. It's the energy behind the question. Like,
I mean, but a question is a question. If I ask you and I say, sis, is your lipstick red? And you told me you don't wear red lipstick, is that an attack or is that a question? It doesn't matter how I say it. It doesn't matter which word I stress. I asked you, was the lipstick red? And you said you don't wear red lipstick. That's the whole point. I think what people are going to take away from it, because let's be honest, most people don't look beyond the surface. And I think what most people are going to take away from it is she's asking direct questions about what the people in social media all across the board have been asking. So now the questions are being asked. I think what's more interesting is that, you know, with her being a celebrity, I want to see how they respond to her if they do the normal screeching and victim playing, you know, the victim role play that they do with each other anytime they're asked a direct question. So yeah, I don't see an attack. I do see direct questions. But I will say this, even if we're going to talk about who she is as a person, which I'm definitely not a fan for obvious reasons, you know, I have a conscience, morals, and you know that good stuff.
yeah.
And ethics. But I don't think that she's bringing down their real estate. I think they brought down their own real estate. I think that she's a part of an industry that absolutely participates in colorism. And she jumped on the show, which is actually like the poster child for colorism.
Colorism, yeah. I did a whole thing on that too. Yeah, the colorism show.
And I think that she's the perfect person if that be the case. If we're going to go into the social commentary of it all, why not bring in someone who participates in colorism to talk with a highly colorist cast?
Hello. Yeah, I agree on that. And as far as is a question and attack, obviously not. I'm not like a freaking snowflake. I was born in the 70s. Like, I know, like, you know what I'm saying? It's good, right? So no, a question isn't an attack. I feel the attack, when I'm using the word attack, it's more about the perpetuation of stereotypes within our community. And while we do want to know these questions, yeah, we want to know them, but on all the other shows and franchises, we want to know them, but don't get to know them because we don't have a person to come and stand in proxy with the nerve enough to ask these questions. So again,
okay, so then so sis, that begs the question that because no one is available or has asked to do that on other franchises, should these ladies then not be given the opportunity to be asked those questions. So, like, because no one's doing it on Beverly Hills, don't you dare ask a question here. It doesn't fit. And then to use the word attack is a very inflammatory word because it gives all sorts of connotations and it blows dog whistles.
Right.
These are the exact same ladies who have been using that exact same type of verbiage anytime they're held accountable for their behavior.
I still feel like attack because okay. So like one of the questions Nicki Minaj.
I mean, but no, sis, hold on. I don't want to cut you off and I don't want to stop you, but let's call a thing a thing. When you say feel like attack, see, there are two different things that we need to address. You have feelings and facts. When something is a fact, it can be proven and stated. When you're talking about a feeling, it's not rooted in fact. It's rooted in how you feel about what took place and not the facts in evidence.
Well, an attack.
So can we say concretely that there was an attack?
Since the actual definition of attack is to take an aggressive action against a place of enemy forces with weapons or armed force, typically in a battle, or an aggressive violent action against a person or place, right. I would stick with my answer about yes, an attack on the Black community via stereotypes and all of the other things that Nicki's questioning directly engages. The questions that Nicki is asking are allowing the stereotypes of our community to be perpetuated in such a way that it is part of the attack on our foundation of melanin.
Yeah, I'm not buying it, sis. I'm not buying it, not even on sale. I don't care if you give me one of Robin's hats with it. The bottom line is asking people who are participating in colorism about their behavior that they have gaslighted this exact same community over is not an attack on the community. What was more of an attack on the community was watching a gang up of women who are racially ambiguous and some of which are biracial openly attack phenotypically Black African women. Now, that was an attack on our community because that was actually putting colorism on the screen, upholding it, and gaslighting the community anytime we pointed it out. So somebody asking these same ladies about their behavior doesn't equal an attack. It actually levels out the playing field and it equals holding them accountable for their actions. How is holding someone who is sinister accountable for their actions and attack on our community? Absolutely not.
Who did she hold accountable? By asking Robin and the other one whether or not they're carpet munchers or whatever. The ladies on other housewife franchises.
Well, she didn't say carpet munchers.
Touch tongues and rub bare nipples and never get asked that question.
But hold on, press pause. They have asked those questions. Andy asked those questions. He did it in a playful fashion, but no one up till now has asked Robin and Giselle about this particular question. And dare I say those questions? Hold on. Not only have they asked those questions with those clear women, they even asked those questions in Atlanta. They've asked those questions on Love and Hip Hop. So these two particular ladies were never asked about it. I wouldn't want to know because I don't like to get mental pictures. But if somebody wanted to know, it was a legitimate question. She asked it because it's been all through social media. People have rumors, jokes, and it's been running like wildfire. So for her to ask the question was actually fair because it has been rumored for seasons now. So it was still a fair question. There was no attack here. I'm not going to go that far. I don't like Nicki Minaj. I don't like her music. I don't even like her wigs. That wig she came out in tonight disturbed me all to be named. But I'm not going to sit up and say somebody attacked somebody just because they ask questions that these people are uncomfortable answering. If you ask me my weight, I might feel attacked, but that's not an attack. Okay? You just asked a question that I wasn't comfortable answering.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and I still believe.
I mean, I understand you gonna say that because It all
And
goes back to you saying, I believe and I feel. And I just want to be
yeah,
clear. When you start talking about what you believe and what you feel, let's clearly state that it's not a fact. It's just your feelings. That's all I'm saying. Because anytime we accuse a black woman of making an attack, that is inflammatory and it's dangerous. So I'm
I
not
don't
going to say that
I
that
don't
black
feel
woman attacked
I don't feel
anyone.
that oops, where am I? I don't feel that my opinions of attack coming from Nicki Minaj in no, I don't feel that it worsens the situation at all. And I'm
Well,
yeah.
right.
So
It doesn't
and
worsen
I
the
did also
situation. I
say
just want us to normalize being careful how we speak when we start talking about making accusations about black women's behavior. Words like attack, aggressive, angry, bitter, mean. Let's be careful that unless they are actual proven facts, that it's
I
not a
don't think
safe
that
thing
Nicki
to do.
Minaj came
And
in.
mind you, I'm not saying that you're wrong to have that feeling. All I'm saying is
Uh-huh.
if you say it on my platform, I'm responsible to point out that that is not a fact. That is the feeling of the caller, but that's not a fact. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying because that's still a black woman,
It's
whether
just
I
my
like her or not. It
right. It's
doesn't
just my
change.
fact. It's just my fact. That's
It's your
all.
opinion because
Yeah.
facts don't change. Facts aren't relative to who's speaking. A fact is a fact, and a feeling
Well,
is relative.
I still feel
Yes, you feel.
my facts are that she attacked the ladies. And but I also said I started this whole thing telling you, Seanitra, that I didn't even see tonight yet. And I'm about
But
to get
that,
off and go
yeah,
watch
and
it.
that's which to me is even more amusing that you can come to a feeling about somebody's behavior, call it a fact, and you didn't even witness anything. So I don't know how she dropped, but you're welcome to come back. But yeah, those are Jim Bunny. What you say, keywords? Absolutely. So I want us to be very careful in how we speak about other black women, saying things like, you know, you attacked or you were aggressive or they're combative. Like, unless you can give me exact concrete points and facts that this person did it, let's not do it. Let's, you know, as my mama would say, let's not and say we did. Not cool. I didn't think it was cool when Rob Bass tried to pull it with Wendy Osefo. I didn't think it was cool when RoboCop tried to pull it with Candace. And I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like it's cool just because we talking about Minaj and I don't like her. Period. Dr. J says, fact, my worst experience of colorism was at my HBCU. Right. I've heard that. I went to Clark. We didn't have a lot of colorism. We had other issues, you know. I don't know how many of you guys know about the AUC, but back in the day, the AUC was in the hood, the whole hood. But yeah, yeah, I don't like them either. But that's my thing. Like me not liking a person doesn't affect whether I'm going to tell the truth or not. I'm going to tell the truth whether I like you or I don't like you because the truth don't care who tell it. Right, feeling or your opinion, right. Yeah, we got to be careful because when we start calling out other people for doing it and then we jump up and do the same thing, then we start looking like Giselle and her neck of many folds. So we don't want to be hypocritical. I love you too, boo. Say what's funny is that Wendy said Monique was aggressive last season. Exactly. And that's what okay, perfect example. Amara, I love you. So this is what I'm saying. This is why it's so dangerous to participate in a lot of the antics and shenanigans that are used against black women as a black woman. Because see, now we see the same people that you thought were your friends and you were, you know, blowing these dog whistles for these people. They're using the same sort of inflammatory language against you. And yeah, she did do that. And that's why I said I don't see it for Wendy. But even though I don't, I cannot not tell the truth, if that makes sense. Hey, DC Co. said, I agree. It bothered me that Chris and Candace did not challenge Ashley or Michael calling Candace aggressive. Right. AUC is still in the hood. But you know, I went to visit when my sister died, and I was over there. I was on James P. Brawley Drive. I was over on Brawley. And I saw a clear lady jogging with her dog. And I'm like, this is not the AUC I went to school in. Like it's, you know, it's been a little gentrification going on. Amara said, but was willing to fight over what they said about her husband. Right, because then it's close to home. See, what happens there is racism, colorism for a lot of our people who are more shallow, it's not a problem until it hits close to home. And then it becomes a problem. That's when it becomes a problem. It hasn't moved. Yeah, it's in the same location. I was just speaking on the fact that I had not seen that much gentrification when I was in school. But then, that was back in the dinosaur days. But, it's just one of those things. Yeah, I love these kind of conversations because I think it makes us, have those conversations and look at our behaviors like, hey, have I been participating in that? Have I been doing the same thing? And I think we can't talk about these things and gloss over them and point out what someone else does and then actively participate in the same system. That's what we can't do. You know what? LEL is crazy. I don't know if y'all know. Say, OMG, how could we not forget to talk about the most important topic of tonight? Karen brought Wi-Fi to Surrey County. I can't wait for her new show. Said nobody ever. We did bring it up for like 20 seconds. Yes, please hit the like button, y'all. Please like. Okay. So I think we got all y'all's comments. Say, yeah, they have moved to the bluff and up majority of houses, but still the bluff. Right. Okay. Yeah, it was just a shock to my system. It was a shock to my system to kind of see the gentrification and to see the condition of Morris Brown. And I was looking at Oglethorpe Hall and like literally having flashbacks of when everything was still alive and buzzing and moving. And then to literally see plastic flapping in the broken windows. It was just like, I don't want to go there because I'm not a big crier, but that one literally I was real teary-eyed, like literally my eyes were wet and burning. Okay. You say you can tell Nikki gonna be on some BS. I don't know. She's asking questions that people have been asking in social media for a while. So she might get a little out of control. You never know. Like, look what we're talking about. But I say it might be more interesting than, what we would have saw with Andy. Okay, hold on. Say Karen is too much. Her show will bring along with Portia's show. Yeah, I know that. I think you mean airing. Yeah, I think they are going to air it after Portia's show. It's already been aired, already been filmed, and then they're saying Portia's show is going to start next week. So I guess we'll take a look and see how much dysfunction is there, if we can stomach it, and if so, then we'll review it. But in the absence of anybody else that wants to give me an opinion, I think we have beaten this horse until all the fleas are gone. Y'all know what I say. We have clearly beat the fleas off of Fluffy. We done knocked the fleas off Fluffy. So we going to let it go. We going to LIG it. And then we'll watch again on next Sunday for the conclusion. And I guess we'll get a better picture of what Ms. Minaj will be asking these ladies. And we're going to see how interesting it gets. And I want to see if Candace starts crying because the lady asked her to sing. So we'll all stay tuned, okay? But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. This was fun. I love these, when we can have intelligent, insightful conversations on top of talking about the gossip and get a little social commentary in there. Pretty girls are smart girls. So I love y'all for that. Also, please hit the like button on your way out. If you did not hit the like button on your way in, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, we would love to have you hit the notification bell and be sure to click all so you'll know every time we go live and we're talking about what's happening on television, social media, or with current events and topics. Okay, but I will see you all tomorrow for Good Morning Royals, and everybody have a great night. Bye, y'all.